My name is Sharina Sheikh Ahmed, and I work for Islamic Relief Worldwide. We started the journey on inclusion back in 2015, where we started to look into how to implement Leave No One Behind agenda. Who are those people left behind? How do we know them? Are they the same identified groups? Are they older people only? Are they people with disability only? And then started to look into our own programs. What we've done in 2017, we've piloted projects in 6 countries: Gaza, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Ethiopia, and Pakistan. We looked at the capacity of the office itself, whether they are able to implement inclusive programming or not, and what do they need to do this. And then we looked at accountability. Are we able to capture what is happening? Are we accountable to every single person in our projects? Are we accountable to those left behind? And what can we do to be accountable to them? And then we moved on through that journey for 1 year, creating a number of tools. Through that year, we've looked at intersectionality. Gender lies in the heart of intersectionality for us. So every woman, every man, every boy, every girl have come with every single identities, such as race, ethnicity, religion, and each of these identities, they interact differently. That might be advantages for them or disadvantage. So we looked at that, and we've created a framework. Our framework captures analysis, so we analyze who is there, who is left behind, and we found out that these people differ from one community to another. So in Gaza, abandoned women by their husbands were totally left behind by the community. In Ethiopia, often children were left behind. In Iraq, minorities were left behind. And we had to capture the differentiated needs of these groups in each community differently. What we've done after analysis, we go to the second stage in our framework, which is the adapted assistance. And we look how we can adapt our programs to be able to allow the assistance for different people. We look at attention to negative details, and that is looking into protection risks to ensure we're not causing any harm. So we make sure that when we bring a minority group into a community to discuss their needs, we are not further deepening the exclusion. We are very sensitive, culturally and gender sensitive to their needs and their issues. And then we make sure that we have their participation, adequate participation on board. And we look into, as I said, adequate capacity of our country offices. In the framework, in the intersectionality framework, the most important tool or stage was analysis. And within analysis, we felt the need for creating a tool to capture gender, to capture age, to capture diversity, not only disability, but other diversity issues. So we look into their gender roles. We meet men, women, boys and girls of all these different groups, of all these ages. We identify who are excluded in these communities. And then we meet all of these people, whether separately or together, and we ask them about their differentiated needs, allow this discussion, understand their gender roles in their communities, so we don't come with our set agenda to change their gender roles. We understand their access to resources and their control over resources. And some of the examples are really shocking, where you can have a person with disability who have no access to anything at all, even the basic needs. And those people have been left behind by almost many. We've seen young girls and boys with deafness or hearing impairment. They are not allowed education simply because there is no interpretation, sign language interpretation, or inclusive schools or classes for them. So we've looked into these as well. And then we look into what are their immediate needs, what are the practical needs in each project, and what are the long-term needs for them, because what we've seen that each of these groups have a number of issues for the long term strategically, and this has to be embedded in advocacy, in certain messages at the government level or community or society level. What we've learned is that instead of globally macro-managing inclusion agenda within those countries where we pilot, we felt that we need to have, as part of the structure of the country office people embedded there to look at inclusion and protection. And we've started this 2018 to look into this and recruit people in these targeted countries. We've looked into how to sustain the positions of these people as part of the structure of the country offices, so they are there as far as programs are going on and not for only a specific project in a specific time.